why don't we take a moment, though, and have all the people who are elected officials in our town, why don't you rise if you're an elected official and stand up right now. And if your spouses are with you, too, why don't you rise, too. I want to thank these people. They volunteer all their time to make our town as magnificent as it is, so let's hear it for our elected officials. Thank you very much. So we've had some magnificent speeches today. They're quite inspiring, jaw-dropping, and it's unbelievable to see that intelligence isn't defined by age. And you spoke to my soul in some of these speeches, so I want to thank you for that. And some of the speeches remind me of that we're not defined. I remember studying some theologies, I'll go into my speech in a second. And they said, Scott, what defines a church? We're getting overly biblical here. Just studying the theology. Was it the building itself, or was it the people that make it up? And though I hear about rock fields, though I hear about hallways that aren't as polished as maybe a Franklin with the new school, or an Attleboro is getting a new school, it's not the hallways that make North Attleboro great. It's not the rocks in the field that make North Attleboro great. It's each one of you tonight that bear the weather like this, the thousands of us here tonight that make North Attleboro great. So I want everyone to make sure we recognize what makes us wonderful is these graduates that are here tonight. So thank you so much for everything you've done. I don't have a typed out speech. I try to speak from the heart, but these speeches start to generate themselves after graduation ends each and every year. And you have to bear with me here. I'll try not to be too long-winded, but it started, I think about probably 300 days ago or more. And I remember it was a Sunday morning, and the common thing that we do at the house is, the coffee's brewing on Sunday morning. And it's that smell that we have in the morning time of that coffee. It's Lavazza, dark roast, if you care to know. And it wakes me up, gets me energized. I go downstairs and pour myself a cup of that coffee. And I pour into that my favorite creamer. It's peppermint mocha, if you're interested. And so I sit down in my leather chair that I used to fit into a little easier, but as I'm getting older, I find it's getting tighter to fit into that leather chair. It's an armchair. And I look on the cul-de-sac and all the children playing as I sip my coffee. And I see right across the way the superintendent of Attleboro's house, David Sawyer. He's right there in the neighborhood too, in the cul-de-sac. And I break out my phone, as I typically do, and I start going through my social media feeds and seeing what speaks to me. Some things make me laugh, go right through them. Some things I delete some friends. I don't even follow that person anymore. It's freeing if you do that. And I came across this feed on LinkedIn. I can't remember exactly whose it was. I don't know the author of this at all, but it spoke to me.